intention that we're connecting with today is the idea of strength through connection. So there will be a couple of different moments in class where we're going to create binds, where we may, for instance, clasp the fingers together to create kind of a fist bind, or we may use a strap in some cases to create a connection that we may not be able to have reached otherwise. And in that way, we'll allow ourselves to feel sometimes strength, sometimes just that power that happens from, for instance, with the finger one, a bind that doesn't really want to be broken. It's strong, it holds its shape well, and we're able to experience a really good stretch, such as in shoulders, is one example, by doing that. So we'll have plenty of playful moments in class. Just trust that you're doing the best that you can do, and that's all we could ever ask for. But here, as we're getting ourselves started to connect with that idea of connection and the strength that happens through connection, start off by creating that first bind. So you'll get all your fingers to wrap around each other, like a little clasp of the fingers together. You can do this just right in front of the heart. And as you gently pull each hand away from the other hand, you can just feel how the strength is there. The fingers are strong. They're holding their shape. You can feel the gentle activation of the strength in the shoulders. So this will be especially one pose, one mudra that we're going to repeat multiple times through class. And so I just wanted us to feel the strength of this simple mudra for a couple more breaths. So feel the arms just gently activating away from one another. Take 3 more good breaths. Two. One. Beautiful. Feel the arms release back open to each side. That release of the strength of the shoulders. That nice relaxed place. So from here, we're going to let right leg start to stretch up to sky. If you'd like to use strap, that's a nice way to connect with the foot in a way that oftentimes is very difficult to connect. It takes years and years for many people to be able to reach the foot. Obviously, if you can do foot connection, great, that's fine. You're allowed to do so. But feel how the connection that the strap can help us with to the foot helps to allow for a possibility that maybe wasn't present before. Notice, kind of similar to that mudra, the elbows and the arms can add in just a slight aspect of strength while the leg is trying to just gently soften its way straighter. Notice how the elbows can bend open to each side, inviting the leg a little closer. So taking a couple of breaths, just opening up that hamstring the first time today's class. And then let's bunch both straps together or just use the right hand and allow the leg to open up to right. Notice how that strap connection perhaps allows it to go a little deeper than if you were trying to just grab onto the leg itself. That's that strength that happens with our connections. That's that beautiful gift when we are present and connected with people around us. It makes a difference. We feel supported through the times of weakness. Okay, lifting leg back up. take the straight leg about in a 45-degree angle across the body. That gets us into the IT band. IT band is a very strong place, and so it tends to get really tight. And so in this case, that connection is helping to loosen up the tightness. If we were to relate that to our friends and our family, it's like somebody struggling. They're trying to do actions, but it's just nothing's working for them. And so then the support in this case is helping them to ease out of a relaxed place, maybe take less on their plate, be able to distribute that just a little bit better. One more good inhale. Nice exhale. Soft release. We're going to take just a moment for some hip connections. So right ankle will come to left thigh, and then we're threading hands around the left side. Notice how here the hand clasp is inviting it just a little bit deeper. A possibility that may not have been there initially. Huge inhale. Nice exhale. Good. Release the cross. The knees are together. Just let them do a simple twist over to left. After opening the IT band already on that outer right thigh, this just adds to it. Another step, another level deeper. It also gives our fingers a little break from the strap for a moment before we go back into it. Good. So one more inhale. Exhale, the knees come up. Let's slide the right leg long. We'll start to extend the left leg upward. Leg strap, hook it around. Find that connection. So the strength in this particular pose comes from the quadriceps, which is the front part of the thigh. By that area lightly engaging, it actually creates more space for the hamstring to stretch. So it makes the knee go slightly closer toward a lifted position, kind of like not quite a locked knee, but just a little bit closer toward that lifted. Once you've got that quadricep area engaged, perhaps the arm strength starts to come into the party as well. Inviting that straight leg a bit closer. Take one more huge breath in and out. From here, bunching up the straps together, or if you're just using the hand, it's left hand, and then the leg opens out to left. Leg rising back up, and then tilt the leg about to a 45-degree angle across body, that nice IT band opener. Another huge breath flows in and out. From there, when the leg comes back up, release strap. Take this left ankle to right thigh, figure 4 stretch. Spread around. One more good breath in and out. As we release the ankle cross, keep the knees bent in so that they can fall over to the right this time. Simple twist, spread the shoulders and the arms open. In this case, it's like that connection that we're experiencing is a connection to gravity. So let yourself release over to gravity as much as feels good for this side. Let's inhale. Exhale. The knees will come up and then lower the feet close to glutes. We'll take a bridge pose where we try to clasp hands behind our back. So when you're ready, lift the hips up 1 vertebrae at a time. If the hands can clasp, great. If you need to slide the strap into each hand to create a clasp, that's a possibility for today. You don't necessarily have to, but it is a possibility if you'd like to. Shoulders squeezing together. Feel how that connection of hands creates a new experience for shoulders and back to open. Heart can lift higher. Feel the strength of the legs. We're holding here for another count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Release hands. Roll spine back down. And before we wrap up on our back here, let's clasp hands together again. This time using the hands to scoop up the head, lifting chin to chest. It's just the arm strength that's holding us up here. The weight of the head just gets to relax back. And that way we're helping to stretch the back of the neck. Sometimes subtle movements, just a tender little rocking feels really good. Other days, I just want to stay in stillness right there in the center. So choose what's best for your body here. One more huge breath in and out. Good. Releasing the head. And then we're rocking our way up to a seated place. When we're up, we can take it to cobbler's pose, bottoms of feet together. Let the spine relax. If there's ever tension through neck, you could always rock the head left and right. Huge inhale. Nice exhale. And then gently start to rise. From here, the legs will extend up and forward. We'll allow ourselves to take a stretch toward the legs. If you want to use strap to create the connection toward feet, great. If you want to use hands, great. Establish the connection. And then allow spine to lift. And then use that arm strength again to gently invite the spine to tilt forward. Doesn't have to be much. Notice we're still just gently waking up the hips, the low back, legs. As we prepare to rise back up, let the legs come to just a comfortable seated place. Create that mudra that we were playing with before. Allow the arms to pull away from one another. Posture is sitting up tall, chin is just neutral. Feel that gentle strength through the shoulders. 2 more breaths. His hands softly release. Grab onto strap nice and wide. We're going to use strap to do a shoulder stretch. So super wide grip. We circle up and around. If you get stuck here behind you, slip the strap wider to continue and complete that circle. And then we'll reverse, coming all the way back. If it gets pretty easy, you'll inch your way in. Let's do 2 more full circles like this, up and back. And return, just ease through those shoulders. Good, 1 more. And return. Beautiful. So left foot can stay tucked in, right leg opens out wide. We'll either try to play with touching the left hand to the right foot up above, or try to create that connection with the strap instead. So that would be left hand, grip as close as you can up that strap. And then with the right elbow coming in front of the right leg, you're able to inch that left shoulder to be back to stacked. So that spaciousness that comes through the connection and those ribs. More huge inhale. Exhale. Leave the left hand gripping on for a moment. Unwind this right shoulder. The right hand's gonna press into the ground to help you lift that right leg up. And then rewind the right hand in front, creating sundial. Good, the same pose we did just in, but a floated version. Kind of tricky. Good. And then when you're ready to release, take this right leg to a bent place, set it in front of you, left leg slides out. You're using the strap to create the connection to foot. The strap is in right hand. You inch this left elbow in front of the leg. And then this right arm tries to come to a stacked shoulder. Good, just like you're doing, I like to try to get my right hand as close as I can to that foot, but enough that I can still get the shoulders to stack in the hand. Good, huge inhale. Nice exhale. Unwind the left hand for a moment. You can press that left hand into the ground, getting this left leg to float. And then reset the left hand in front. Trying to return to that kind of floated version, that sundial. You just switch the hands. So the other hand to the foot, yep. And then, yep, just like that. That's it, you got it. Good. So 1 more breath in and out. Beautiful, go ahead and release. You can set strap off to the side. Let's come to a kneeling place. I know that was a good heart warmer. It's like, okay, I feel warmer now. Good. So when we're kneeling, let's take some cat-cows. So with our breath, the spine rounds up to sky. Belly drops down, gaze up. Move at the speed of your breath. Don't feel like it's a race with anybody. If there's ever extra wiggles you'd like to take, just to loosen up the tightness here, go for it. One more good cycle up and down. Beautiful. So as we come back to neutral, we're going to take a moment to experience the strength that the body has to go into if there's no connection. So this is done with the right knee staying bent, but the foot comes above the knee behind us. Good. This one's a good glute strengthener, by the way. If you're ever wanting to work on glutes, like, you can do this one for sure. But keeping the knee, trying to not drop it much lower than where it is, we're just going to do pulses up. We'll pulse up, pulse up. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now go ahead and establish a connection, trying to get the left hand to that right foot behind us. If you get the connection to go together, try to use the connection to then lift up and feel how different of a quality that is to have connection than to try to make the glutes have to do it all. Good. More inhale. Nice exhale. The hand drops down, the knee drops down. Let's do a huge hip circle to each direction just to loosen up the glutes. So circle clockwise, as big as the hips can go, and counterclockwise. Okay, you're ready for second side. Left leg lifts up. We're gonna do the little tiny pulses. So when you're ready, here's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Try to set up connection if it'll happen on this side. Right hand reaching for the foot. If you've got the connection, try to bring it back upward. Just noticing how different that is to lift from the connected. Good. One more inhale. Exhale. Release hand and foot down. Another hip circle each direction. When you've done each side, you can take it to downward facing dog. Spread the fingers wide, lift the hips up high. If there's little wiggles that still feel good, especially through those hips, take some time to bend one knee and then the other. This is a down dog that you don't have to stay super long. Whenever you're satisfied, you can come up to a forward fold toward top of mat, but also don't feel rushed into that. A down dog can sometimes be exactly what the doctor ordered. Good stretch. So take one more huge breath here. With inhale. Nice exhale. And circle the arms up to the sky. Hands down to heart. Beautiful. So we're gonna start to build up some opening in the hips. First and foremost, though, similar to how we just did those pulses, we're gonna try to do those pulses kind of from a fake dancer's pose. So the hands come above, imagining that you had a strap connecting it. We'll get to play with the strap connection later. But then the right foot tries to balance back behind us. We're gonna try to do those 10 pulses, getting the strap connection, if it was there, to be closer. So pulsing back, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Open up to warrior 3. Drop the fingers to the floor. And then softly land that right foot all the way to the back of the mat. From here, with hands planted on the inside of that front foot, we're going to help the hips to open up a little bit. So 3 times nice and slowly, try to lower hips as low as they can to the ground. A little bit of a back bend. And then hips back up. 2 more. Down and hips up. And 1. Good. Now lowering the back knee, we can take it to lizard pose. Maybe you stay on hands. Maybe one elbow drops to floor or block. Maybe both. Also use these breaks as a chance for that heart rate to calm down. When we're doing little bursts of strength, we tend to not breathe quite as much. Try to keep it flowing. Good. Let's come back up to hands. Take a moment to slide this leg back. Your choice, child pose, down dog, or a flow. If you need the break, just do the child pose. If you're still doing good, you can do the flow. Great. So whether we're transitioning from kneeling or from down dog, let's work that right foot forward. We're going to do all those poses we did on the other side, but in reverse. So first it's the lizard. So the back knee can be on the floor, swing the hips forward. Stay on wrists or lower to elbow or elbow to block. Breath in and out. From there, tuck the back toes, lifting up that knee. The hips are going to try to lower down slowly. 3. Have a back bend, and hips back up. 2. Back up. 1. Good. Back up. Get the feet solidly on the floor. If you need to shorten stance at all, great. We're coming to the place where the back foot can float. So maybe the fingers go forward. If the arms can start to float, let the upper back rise. And then we're trying to come to that dancer pose variation. We pick the grip up above. The toes are behind us. And then the glutes try to pulse back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Set the feet about as wide as the mat. And then let yourself come down to a little squat, maybe wider if you need. A squat enough that you can just kind of push the hips open. Sometimes I'll do just a slight sway left and right. Like make sure we don't burn out those glutes. Good. Let's straighten the legs, turn the toes forward, drop the hands down. A couple of breaths there with some length. And you're ready to start rising up. Bend the knees, roll up. Circle the arms up to sky. Hands down to heart. Okay, and we're gonna play each side with the connected version of that King Dancer's pose. So if you'd like strap, great. I kind of recommend it if you're trying to do both from above. Being by the wall is also not a bad idea for the King Dancer variation. You could also just go low instead of up high. But if you're going for the King Dancer, you do want to find the middle of the strap, and that's where the right foot goes. As you start to transfer your weight onto left foot, that right knee will bend behind you. I start off with it over my shoulder, the straps. And then when I'm ready to come up to that bent elbow shape above, I try to see if I can walk my hands down the strap at all. Some days I can, some days I can't. From there, kick the foot into the strap and notice how that connection opens the chest. It opens the back. Everything in just much more of an expanded suit. Good. You're doing okay with balance. Take one more huge breath in and out. Good. Take your time trying to release with balance. Back upright with the torso, and then the foot can slip out. Good. Second side, left foot can slide into the center. Heart openers are warming. It's like, okay, we're here. We need it. Okay, whenever you're balancing on right foot, left knee can bend, the straps come over the shoulder. And you're ready to bring it up to that high space. Maybe the hands walk down the strap a little bit. And then it's the kick of the foot into the strap. That's where you really start to feel the power of that connection. Yeah, take time to readjust if needed. Take one more good inhale. Exhale. Good. Easy, soft release up. And then the foot out. Good. You can set the strap down. Coming up to the top. Nice inhale. Feel the shoulders circle around. Exhale, hands down to heart. We're going to float the right knee. Gotta feel the balance there for a moment. Arms open out wide as we kick back to warrior 3. Soft blend to warrior 1, arms sweep up. From this, let's clasp hands together behind the back. If that clasp is ever difficult, you can use the strap here. Take a moment with the back bend, hands slide down the glutes, heart lifts up. And from the back bend down into the shoulder stretch, bowing forward. Good. Hands release to glutes. They separate and then swing forward and up. Warrior 1, inhale. Open up warrior 2. And from warrior 2, create that mudra that we were playing with before. The fingers curl around each other. Separate the elbows a little bit so you've got some activation going on in the shoulders. And then from here, keeping the mudra the same, we take the hands behind the head. The left elbow lifts up, the right elbow tilts down. This leans us to the back wall. Keep the legs just as strong. Good, and then reversing it, same mudra, but now it's the right elbow up, left elbow down as we lean up to top of it. Beautiful. Torso back up and then the arms back open, warrior 2. From warrior 2, we're taking it to extended side angle. My recommendation, try if you can, have fingers to ground for a moment or fingers to block. Left hand is down. Right hand, we're stacking shoulder, reaching that right hand to mirror. Good. So now as we drop the right hand onto the floor, we're going to try to play with getting this left shoulder a little bit closer to the knee. So sometimes I'll use that left hand kind of around the calf to get myself a little bit closer. We're trying to set up this side. So this is, by the way, a balance pose, kind of a challenge that we're going to. So this is where you can go in this challenge. This is where we're at. But this is the established foundation, this left hand and left foot trying to stay close right there. They're connected. If at any point you feel like you could balance like a half moon, your right foot hops a little closer. The right hand is welcome to stay on the floor, but try to float that right leg up to stand. Good. If you need to unwind the shoulder and just take it back to the supported, kind of almost like a split action, great. Beautiful. Land both feet close to one another. Unwind the shoulder. Next inhale circles us up the sky. Pull those shoulders, rotate open. Hands down to heart. And that's what I was talking about with the playfulness. So don't feel like you have to do every little thing, but we've got that one more side to do here. So when you're ready, starting off nice and easy, left knee floats. Warrior 3, back. Warrior 1. Last hard sequence of the day, by the way. Good. So from Warrior 1, clasp hands behind the back. Gentle bow forward, shoulder stretch. Down. So forward and up. Into Warrior 2. Go to our mudra again. Notice which hand wants to be closer to your heart. See if this time you can switch it out. Okay, so the hands come behind the head from there. And then for this side, we're going to start off with the right elbow going up, left elbow down. This leads us to back wall. So this opening the shoulders nicely. Good, spine up. Tilt the other way, right elbow down, left elbow up. Beautiful. Head up, keep the clasp. Bring it back in front of heart. Try to pull against it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Soften back open. Warrior 2 arms. Okay, we're going to extended side angle. Maybe the right hand to block, maybe to floor. Left hand up and then extending forward. Good, dropping the hand down, hands on the inside of the front foot. Try to see if that right shoulder will get a little bit closer to the right knee. Maybe the hand wind around the calf area. If you know already, you're just going to stay wide. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. It'll be more like a stepping split. But if you like, try to keep that connection with the bind. Pop the other foot a little closer. This left hand is welcome to be as wide as it needs for the balance. Try to float left leg up. One more breath in. Out. And the feet close together. Inhale. Exhale. How easy. Easy things from here only. Down to heart. So keeping the right foot up at the top of the mat, step the left foot back. It's a pyramid pose, so it's not a super wide distance. You're going to keep the hips squared forward. So this is a chance where we're going to create a bind of some sort behind us. So it might be the same bind we've been playing with, the hands clasping. It might be prayer position. So then if you're doing the prayer position, you can kind of flip it up if possible. But either way, feel the heart and the shoulders roll open from the hands behind us. Even grabbing the forearms or elbows is fine, by the way. Gonna keep the hips square as we start to lean forward over the front leg. You can always stop it halfway. If you continue to go a little lower, the spine is welcome to round a little. Just know if your balance ever starts to fail, release the hands as quick as you can to save you. This would be not so good to take a fall from here. Easy breaths. So inhale. Exhale. One more good inhale. Exhale. Softly bend the knees. Start to roll the spine up. Let's switch the legs. Left foot forward. Right foot back. Same thing. Maybe the mudra. Maybe the prayer position hands. Maybe just grabbing for forearms. Gonna feel the position, ultimately opening the shoulders. Easy lean forward. You can pause it halfway. Continue to roll down. Calming the breath, calming the heart. 2 more breaths. Soften the knees, rise up. Good. Easy step forward. Slow circling through the shoulders, up and back. Hands up the heart. Continue to let those hands travel down into the forward fold. Left lift. Exhale, fingers down, slide the feet back. I'm gonna go straight to child, but if you'd like a flow instead, you can take one last flow. Let those shoulders be extended forward if that's the right position for them today. Wherever we ended up, 2 more beautiful breaths. And coming to a comfortable seated place, swing the legs out in front of you. We're gonna try to do the hand clasp behind our back. So start off with the legs. The legs can be right leg in front, right shin on top, or right knee on top. Whatever's gonna work best for knees and hips today. So legs are set up in a way that you don't have to have hands to be comfortable there. And then right hand comes to base of neck, left hand comes to low back. If you can inch fingers together, great. If you want the strap, we have it. So go ahead and use the strap to try to connect the 2 dots. Trying to feel, instead of the head needing to hunch forward to create the space, try to feel the head lifting, creating more space in the chest, more space in the shoulders. A huge inhale. Exhale. Soft release. And then we're going to try to lean forward over the legs from here. So get us into those glutes again. We did several strengthening things for them. So easy leaning forward. One more beautiful breath flows in and out. Walk up the hands back in. Let's start to switch the legs out. Left can be cross-legged front. It can be shin on top or knee on top. Okay, if you're right-handed like me, this is probably your tough side. But take the left hand to the base of neck area, the right hand to the low back. Try to see if they'll inch together today. If not, again, we always have that strap to create the connections. Rather than the arms trying to collapse and head collapse, try to stay in a lifted shape. More huge breath in. Easy release. Soften it out. And hands on floor, slide forward. Good. Rising back up. Slip the legs to easy cross leg. Take just a moment. Sometimes when we've opened up the shoulders so much, the neck starts to take the brunt of it. So let's take a few breaths for the neck itself. Let yourself gaze over your right shoulder. The rest of the spine is tall. Maybe right hand presses into the left cheek just to increase it a little bit. And soft release, chin rotates back forward. Good. Gaze over left. Maybe left hand presses on the cheek. Good. Release back forward. When we're back forward, right ear drops to right shoulder. Maybe left hand hovers away. Head back up. And left ear to left shoulder. Maybe right hand hovers away. Good. Head back up. Spine still tall. Drop the chin to chest. Let the head be as heavy as possible, just dropping down. This will start our transition to Shavasana. So if there's other neck stretches, like wiggling the head left and right a few times, that's great. If at any point you're ready to head onto your back or do last seated stretches, you're welcome to do anything that will help your body feel complete prior to your Shavasana that we're ultimately releasing into. Take your time, just enjoy it. Some of us will be stretching for another full minute or two. Some of us might be almost immediately ready for Shavasana. So just take your time, whatever your body wants still. Some are about ready for Shavasana. I'll start to deepen that experience, but don't feel rushed if you're still taking stretches. So with this idea of connection, feel your connection to the ground. So that tremendous support, we don't always think of that as connection, but gravity is what keeps us here. It's what allows us to have strength in the first place, because it gives us something to work against. So feel your connection to the ground. Feel all the surface area of your body that's touching down. And notice the little parts that are not touching, like the knees, maybe low back or neck. Just notice, sense of curiosity. And then for those parts that are making connection, as we're relaxing here for a few more minutes, see if there can be even greater relaxation through those areas, so that literally nothing is holding us up. Just the ground, just that beautiful support. All it takes is good deep inhales and exhales. We begin to deepen inhales. exhales. Introduce little movements back to the body, fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching out in ways that feel really good. At any point you'd like a fetal position, you're welcome to roll over to a side. And stay maybe another 2 or 3 breaths if the body's still returning back to presence. At any point that you feel ready, you're welcome to rise up to a comfortable seated place. So here, as we're returning, we reconnect to that idea of connection. Perhaps there were little tiny lessons that we learned about how connection can make us stronger. Connection can balance us and challenge us. And connection can allow certain muscles to relax when they're in a good degree of stretching. And so with this type of strength and connection to lead us on, let's wrap up the time that we got to share together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.